Dawn of the second day, indeed. Welcome back, everybody, to our playthrough of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Today is a slightly less intensive day than the first day, thankfully. The first thing we're going to do for today is actually go into Anju's grandmother's room, now that we have the All-Nighters mask from our last 3-day cycle, and we are going to listen to one of her stories. Yeah, she calls us tortoise because she suffers from dementia. Do a Carnival of Time story, and you can either read it, it's an interesting read, I guess, or you can just hit A or B through the whole thing. It doesn't really matter which. Because if you don't have on the mask, you'll listen to the story and you'll quote-unquote fall asleep. But if you have the All-Nighters mask, you can't fall asleep. So at the end of it, she asks you a question, and it's on the eve of the festival. I mean, you could answer, I don't know, but yeah. As a result of this, you get a heart piece. And later, we will do the other story, which was about the 4 giants. That is a bit of a mixed-up one, though, and I'll explain that when it happens. But for right now, we are actually going to do a few things in terms of completing. If you'll remember, on our first 3-day cycle, I went ahead and beat the Snowhead Temple to make it springtime in the mountains. In order for the frog to appear, because now that we have the Dongero's mask, we're going to make the entire frog choir appear. Because we have a lot of time to kill. If you remember, we're also doing the Anju and Cafe side quest. First frog we need to find is, of course, within the depths of Woodfall Temple. Thankfully, the trumpet is not too terribly loud. I know some trumpet players who like to blare themselves out when they play. And if you'll remember, I mentioned the frog is in the boss room where we get the big key, or the boss key. So it takes a little while to get there, and I won't show the fight because you've seen it before, so yeah, we'll be right back. And we finally beat that frog guy. He was only slightly a little bit annoying this time through. And in all honesty, it doesn't take too long to get to this room. It helps that we already have the bow and arrow. Yada yada yada. Okay, he apparates because frogs can do that. Of course. What, you didn't know that? I mean, I did. And if you feel like doing the Dongero's side quest at this time, like I'm doing, feel free to do so, honestly, because on the second day it's best to do it, because you have until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon where we have to really be somewhere else. So realistically, you could do the Dongero side quest and a whole lot more, which we might do. I think there's one heart piece that's relatively easy to get along our way, so I might stop by and do that. And now we head over to the Great Bay Temple, of course, because that's where the other frog guy was. And they were both hiding the boss key, curiously enough. Still, I'm always fascinated by the fact that you can play these songs completely out of rhythm, and it'll still be like, oh, okay, yeah, you played it. It's like I've been playing Twilight Princess recently, and when you howl as a wolf, it's like, no, you have to play it exactly in time. I guess in all practicality, that does get slightly more annoying, despite being more realistic. So anyway, I'll get us to the frog fight. And I totally just owned that frog fight with our lovely Great Fairy sword. That thing makes all the difference, it really does. Basically, like, after I shot the ice arrow and dropped him down the first time, I did a jump attack with the Great Fairy Sword, killed him in one hit. So, blessedly, this whole debacle of a side quest, is all I can think to call it, is a lot easier with certain items, but there's no denying it. It's still a pain to do. Now, all we have to do for the 2 more frogs left. Thankfully, there are just 5 of them. And only 2 of them are a pain in the ass to get. The other 2, gotta admit, are relatively simple. One of them is actually in Clocktown, so we'll head there right now. And ironically enough, it's at the spot where we need to be come 2 o'clock. I thought that was... wondered if that was intentional or not. A lot of these side quests seem to happen sometimes despite each other and sometimes in spite of each other, so... it's like... I always wondered if all these, like, what the minimum amount of days it could possibly take to get all these side quests done in sort of a speedrun format, and I know I could probably watch those speedruns, not like a 3-day challenge or a tool-assisted speedrun, but a speedrun done in not just beating the game, but also while completing, like, 100%. But some of those, it's like, both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask have videos like that on YouTube, and they take, like, 2.5 hours. It's like, I can't take playing a game for 2 straight hours unless it's something super addictive. So I don't know how, like... and I admit, there have been times where I went through, like, marathons of games. And there was even one time where I made a bet with my friends, this was back when we were in, I guess, middle school, way long ago, that I could get all 120 stars. And I had no idea at that point what a task was, and I wasn't really good at the game. But I bet them that I could do it in 6 hours. I put like $20 on it, which in the early 2000s, that was a lot. And I think I ultimately did it in 6 hours and like 15 minutes, and they were dicks and they didn't give it to me. But they were still impressed that I did it that fast. I don't think impressed as much as, like, they pitied me, because I knew a video game so well in and out. That's weird, the music cut out for some reason. Anyways, after that frog, we have now collected all of them. So to go over it real quick. First, you beat the Snowhead Temple, then get the frog in Great Bay, then the frog in Woodfall, then there's one in Clocktown, and one in Southern Swamp. So now we come back to this place and put on our Dongero's mask, and this is our stupid, dinky, unworth it prize. And that doesn't even do it justice, just listen. Riveting. Simply riveting musical entertainment. Oh, and there's a heart piece. I don't care. I mean, I do, but God, seriously. It's not even that musically interesting of a song. And it sounds terrible. I know the frog sounds are simulated on a MIDI keyboard or whatever, but it's like, you could have done something interesting with it, like in Super Mario RPG with Todovsky's choir, or hell, I think even like Banjo-Kazooie's Tip-Top choir thing would have been more interesting. Anyways, yeah. Heart piece here. That is gained, of course, once the spring comes, all the ice melts. Looks like I get some rupees down here. And it's in the same spot, if I remember correctly, I think that's the same spot where the Goron Elder was. Which is neat, I guess? I don't know. Oh, that was kind of glitchy. So I can't get up that way. Yeah, I'm just killing time right now. So we have 3 more hours until we have to be at this spot, which in game time I think is like half an hour or something. I don't know. It's not going to be that long, but needless to say, I will get us to where we have to be and then cut to where it actually matters, so that you see what happens. So we basically go back to... You know, in the whole time that I've been doing these side quests for this day cycle, I haven't even brought up the fact of Anju and Cafe. If you'll remember, we dropped off a letter in this mailbox right here for Cafe. So the reason we have to be here at 2:30 is because that's when the postman delivers his letters. And when Cafe comes out and gets his letter, we will meet him. And it'll take a little while, so I will speed up time again, and we'll be right back. There comes our postman right now. Marching as diligently as always, I see. He rings the bell, and bam, there comes Cafe. Or, sorry, we don't know it's Cafe yet. Even though it looks exactly like Cafe, just with a mask on. But no, we don't know it's Cafe yet. And we're just kind of waiting here in his secret spot. With a little clock on the wall and this thing that we can't look through yet. Spoiler alert, I guess? No, not really. Yeah, looks like he's been writing letters. I wonder to whom? Yeah, I don't even know. He'll take his sweet time getting back in. I hear the door now. And you don't have to worry about wearing the Cafe mask, actually. In fact, it looks creepy. So we talk to him. Green egg nose. We were discussed in the letter. And the big dramatic secret reveal is... something we already knew! Yeah. The game, what's interesting about this section is that it reveals it as some big plot device that he was Cafe this whole time. However, the game doesn't really treat it like one. There's no big dramatic reveal. I mean, there kind of is, but not really. The music doesn't change, which in Zelda, of course, it never does. And Tattle becomes really kind of a bitch here talking to him. Like, she doesn't feel sympathetic for him at all. Oh yeah, that was clearly insincere, so... And he gives a bunch of bullshit excuses for not going and seeing her, and he gives us a pendant. And now we reveal something about Link that I don't really like. This line right here. Though you may not understand these grown-up matters. It's like... Really? The game treats you... I think I... Man, I'm trying to remember if I mentioned this before in this Let's Play, or if it was another one. Oh, I meant to slow down time again. I think I played the Song of Soaring, basically just out of habit. We played it a lot this segment, so... understandably forgivable, right? Right? No? Not really? Yeah, I figure. Anyway, I don't remember if I mentioned it in this LP or not, but I don't really like how... in this game specifically, like, the game treats you as if you're some kind of naive, dumbass little kid. Which, to be fair, you are, but at the same time, Link has traveled several... you know, through several continents and areas, and he's overcome obstacles that most adults don't do in their lifetime. It's like, he's not stupid. Though you may not understand these grown-up... blah blah blah, stupid. I understand. Yes, we met him, and here's the pendant. Yeah, that face looks so happy. It doesn't really, but whatever. So that ends the Cafe Anju side quest for today. Tomorrow we will do more. But for right now, it's time to finish up the Romani and Crimea Crimea, you know what I mean. Side quest. So we will go do that real quick. And what we're doing tonight is actually semi-fun / interesting? Not really, but you'll see. We will need the Garrow's mask. At least I thought we would. However, there is one thing about this side quest that I've had wrong ever since I was playing as a young kid. I always thought, well, I guess I shouldn't reveal it. It'll be explained when we get to the barn here. And I don't even think we've met Crimea at this point. Oh, hi, Epona. I mean, we've obviously met Romani, but this is her older sister, Crimea, who both of these character models bear striking resemblance to Malin from the ranch in Ocarina of Time. Basically, she's taking a wagon into town, and we get a ride into town, even though we don't really need it, but for this particular side quest we do. She's delivering the milk, and we will go in, and for doing something along this quest, we will receive a prize, which is actually, if I admit, a nice prize. Go ahead and proceed to 6 p.m. sharp. And bam, it appeared out of nowhere. A giant horse and a buggy. Yeah, we put on the Garrow's mask, even though I later found out we shouldn't, because it doesn't really matter. I love this image. Yeah, don't mind me, I'll just be standing behind you wearing an overly dramatically creepy mask, staring at you this whole time. And here we get a little backstory about Crimea and Romani, but none of it's really important if I have to say so myself. Nice country-themed music, though. I guess. Friend named Anju? Huh, you'd think someone like Crimea would be her bridesmaid, or one of them. Or maybe this is the kind of environment or culture where those don't really matter. You wonder if it will fall? No, it's not gonna fall. You know, a moon is only supposed to be 200-some-odd thousand miles away from the planet, but this one looks like it's only 200 miles away. No, it's not gonna fall at all. Anyway. So yeah, the road is blocked. How convenient. I guess? Well, turns out it's not so convenient. Because as Crimea is so eloquently going to put it... First snow grows blocked by a boulder. Ugly country! Ah ha 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 ha! Yeah, they just have a big feud. Romani Ranch versus the Gorman brothers. Pursuers are gonna go for the milk bottles. Oh, damn it! Well, if you hadn't put no at the top, like the stupid owl, I wouldn't have said that. So what do you know? Immediately we have pursuers. And you have got to load them full of metal. Or whatever your arrow tips are made out of. Maybe stone. No, they're probably metal. So yeah. Hope you're ready to do this for a few hours. And do not let them get too close. The reason I was wrong about the Garrow mask was I thought because if you wear it, that they won't attack you. But turns out I did a little more research. And that actually is only true if you wear the circus mask, circus leader's mask, which, for whatever reason, it makes no sense because that's a mask we get later. Like, we have to have done this side quest already in order to get it. And that, of course, is a side quest we'll do later. But yeah, wearing the Garo mask was completely pointless, but don't worry, they're still easy to hit. Yeah, I loaded them full of arrows and they were still able to ride on their horses. It's like, I've seen Lord of the Rings. You should fall off a horse immediately after getting hit by an arrow. But whatever. So we make a successful delivery and she thinks we're cool for whatever reason. And we get the Romani mask, which is good for getting into the milk bar. Yeah, proof of membership. It's cool. So now we have lots of time to do, and I think, rather I hope, I don't exactly remember, but if we go, wait a minute, other way, yeah. If we go into and talk to Anju's grandmother, it might be that any time during the evening is too late, but I'll find out real quick. If we can, I'd like to listen to the last story. We were late, I thought so, okay. Well, tomorrow we won't really have time to do that, so we will do that side quest, which is not really a side quest, another time, probably off-screen, because, or I might show it, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll have one segment where I just do a whole bunch of more side quests, too, so. That is all, I believe, for the second day. I mean, there might be some mini-games we could do, but whatever. So the final day will be next segment of this epic long side quest, and it will be the most epic part, and possibly the most beautiful part, as you will see. So, yes. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, see you all later.